I'm Dawn Kelly, and I am a local fashion designer from Charlotte, North Carolina. I've been in the fashion industry for about 5 years. Wow, 5 years in December. So yes, I knew that I wanted to do something creative with my life about in high school, actually. I thought I was going to do architecture, but I also really loved styling and fashion. So I battled with which one to decide, which one to go with. And I settled on fashion right before it was time to go off to college. So I went to art school in Brooklyn, New York. Shout out to Pratt Institute. I got my BFA in fashion design there. Minored in photography, and I started my brand a couple months after I graduated. When coming into the McCall and SouthEnd ARTS Co-op Project P.A.I.R experience, I was eager to just jump in and get started. I didn't really have too many expectations. I was told that I would be coming into a studio space and that I would be paired with an artist, an established artist, and they'd kind of help guide me along the way. And so just hearing that I had the opportunity to make art outside of teaching in the classroom or outside of my brand was exciting to me, because I know that there's always an intersection between visual art and between fashion. So I was excited to pull inspiration from somewhere new. But coming in and having this experience has been more than I could have imagined. It's been great, honestly. I lucked up and I was paired with an amazing mentor. In the moments where I kind of didn't know what to say or didn't know what else to do, she kind of pushed me just by being herself and asking those questions that you don't really think of when you're creating or when you're stuck or when you're trying to figure something out. And that was kind of the push that I was looking for in my work and with my brand, because since college I haven't had that community that you get when you're in the trenches. It's just been me. I bounce ideas off myself, and so being able to talk it out with someone has been something that I really miss. And a goal of mine for my brand and for myself this year was to get more in tune with the art scene in Charlotte. And so everything is just kind of coming full circle now, especially now that the exhibition's coming up.
My name is Doris Kapner, and I'm the mentor to Dawn Mentee in this PAIR project for SouthEnd Arts. So this residency was really conceived as a way to help newer artists, emerging artists, kind of understand what it means to be a full-time artist here and to grow their community, because that's really something that helps propel an artist in their practice. There is a limited amount of studio space in Charlotte, so that's always a struggle. I'm here at the McCall Center. I have a studio here for about a year and a half now. And one of the beautiful things is having these facilities. So here we're in the ceramics area. We also have a media lab, printmaking facilities, 3D printing, laser engraver, wood shop, metal area. So there's a lot of opportunity to make things, and recently a co-op program was developed so that other artists in the community could also use this program. So when SouthEnd Arts came to me and asked me what I envisioned for this program, I immediately recommended the co-op program, since it's really hard for two artists to work in a tiny studio together. This was the perfect situation for Dawn to be able to come in, use her facilities, be exposed to other artists, other mediums that maybe she hadn't tried, or just tried like a little bit and was able to expand upon, and then really kind of push her practice. And then she's welcome after this program ends to be a part of the co-op program in the future. So anytime she has a project that she wants to work in, because she's already been in the program, this is another resource for her to use on a month-to-month basis and to grow her practice. I think the most wonderful thing about this mentorship program for me has just been watching Dawn push herself. And I think in the beginning she was a little hesitant sometimes to take risks or worry about like what the end product would be. And we've really focused on just forgetting about that and just exploring and really just pushing her practice, making connections, looking at maybe how ceramics could come into her fashion, how printmaking could come in, all these different things to kind of just let herself like expand and just really make something that she wouldn't have thought of or allowed herself, given her that permission to before.
So I didn't know what to expect on coming in. I just knew that I'd be able to practice art in a different way than I'm used to, or a different way than I have for the past couple of years. But I was really excited to see a 3D printer. That was one of the most cool things that I saw here. I've never seen one or got to use one myself, so that was really fun to use. Some of the things that I didn't get a chance to experience fully in college, like the laser cutter or the printmaking shop. Like I've seen those things, and I might have had a friend do some of those things for me or do like a quick crash course, but I never got to fully immerse myself in it. And so coming into Project P.A.I.R and the co-op program with McCall and being able to learn, like get a crash course with the lab monitor and being able to experience those things myself and like fail at it and succeed at it all on my own has been really exciting.
One of the greatest benefits, I think, of the P.A.I.R project is it's really hard to just make art on your own. Like you can do it, you can be in your room, you can be productive, but I think your practice and what you're doing really expands exponentially when you're in a community. So being around other artists, having other artists' input, feedback, making those connections can really grow your practice and help you succeed as an artist a lot faster than if you're just in your room by yourself. So that's one of the things, pairing with Dawn, I was able to introduce her to some other artists in the community. McCall has resident artists that come from all over the world that she was able to meet, and just like see those people who are ahead of you in like 5, 10 years, 15 years down the line, and have an idea of what that looks like, as opposed to just, you know, a lot of times it's just like, I like to make art, but you don't know where to go with that or what to do with that. And then being able to see the different paths that you can take. So she's in a fashion path, but another person might be wanting to be a painter or an illustrator, do commercial art, and there's many different paths to follow in Charlotte. And I think it was nice for her to be able to see people who are following those different paths and succeeding and what that looks like.
A piece of advice that I would give to incoming Project P.A.I.R mentees is don't be afraid to apply and put yourself out there. Even if you think that your medium is not the medium for this program, or you don't think that you're a right fit for it, try it. I'm a fashion designer and I came in with that background, and I'm still finding ways to apply what I've done here at McCall to my passion and to what I love. So there's always a way to connect what you do with what McCall has to offer and what SouthEnd ARTS has put together for you in the Project P.A.I.R.
So I think one of the main objectives of the P.A.I.R project and SouthEnd ARTS is kind of reaching out to people who might not know what being a professional artist looks like, or may have talent and not know how to put that together. So having mentors here, so I'm here at McCall, some of the other mentors are at Mark Whitson, possibly at Baptist Center, Visual Performing Arts Center across the street, and there's a lot of artists in the community, and then so being paired up with the right mentee is a big concern. So when the mentors are looking at the applications, we're kind of seeing what would be a good fit, like who we feel we could really work with. And I'm actually a sculptor primarily, and I do printmaking, and I do ceramic sculpture. So initially I was even a little hesitant when Dawn came in as a fashion designer, but I think the creative process is a creative process no matter what. So it's really easy once you get excited and see possibilities just to have someone to talk to and then get a different perspective that might even be better than just talking to another fashion designer or another sculptor. So having the range of talents and abilities and skills all come together just to help you kind of solidify what your practice looks like.
I really enjoyed Project P.A.I.R and I think you would too. So we're wrapping up the 2-month Project P.A.I.R residency with SouthEnd ARTS, and I am just as excited now as I was when I started. Like, it's so rewarding to have everything hung and to have people come in and ask questions and congratulate me and just let me know that they understand and that they appreciate my art and that they like it and they're enjoying being in the space. So when I first started, I was nervous and I kind of didn't know where I was going to go or what I was going to do with this residency. Now that it's over, I've been through the process, I'm pumped to continue creating. I feel like there was a creative block that I had before that's now gone, and I'm excited to take what I've started here and to expand on it and just explore those ideas that I left on the table. So my why, I realize that my why is to continue to present the tough topics and the hard messages and create those difficult conversations and present it in a way that is inviting, just so people don't shy away from it, because things like racism and gender inequality and those heavy topics, they're important, and I don't think they get talked about enough. And I know personally, sometimes I don't feel like I have a room, a safe space to talk about it in, and I don't have a community to discuss it with. And so my art is my way to do that. And that's my why, to just create those conversations and create an outlet for me to get it off.